Let's talk about Goliath. The little guy that we don't ever worry about. You know, he's not a monster. He doesn't fight well.
Yeah, we can ignore him. Let's go bowling. I mean, although we're doing it kind of upper hand bowling, so...
That was good. All right.
I believe it is your turn.
Yeah, I think whatever. Our Father in heaven, we thank thee very much for this chance to be together. We thank thee for this chance to study thy scriptures and to learn of thy word. We ask thee to please help us to learn good things and to share this knowledge well with others. Please bless us to be able to share this and be well with all that is going on. And we say these things and do so humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Alrighty.
Would it be bowling or would it be baseball?
Pitching, well, that would be more what baseball would be, but you know, as a general rule, you don't aim for the head. So, in bowling, you aim for the pins. So, it'd be a little bit nicer to be, say, bowling rather than baseball.
Hello, Bug.
Oh, we got stink bugs like crazy here.
Please do not come down here. Thank you.
That would be fun.
Not.
It's not like they're going to eat us.
Still, it's not comfortable to have one
unless
beyond
they
you.
suddenly become, you know, as large as half of the room and can actually ingest us, but, you know, details.
Excuse me, Fallout. We'd like to infest our house with rad roaches. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, chapter 17. Israel and the Philistines engage in war. Gee, isn't this what's been happening for the last little while?
Yeah.
Goliath of Gath, a giant.
Yeah, suppose he were 6 feet deep. He's still in 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah, restating the obvious, but of course we didn't, anyhow, maybe not restating the obvious, defies Israel in a nasty way, man, and challenges any Israelite to personal combat. David goes against him in the name of the Lord. David says Goliath, man, they're just giving us the whole story here. Slays Goliath with a sling and a stone. Israel defeats the Philistines, of course. Obviously not very well today.
Ixnay.
Yes.
Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle and were gathered together at Shoko? Coco? Which belongeth to Judah and pitched between Shoko. I'm not going to be able to say that. And Azekah in... Why do I keep getting the weird names?
Azekah in Ephes-Dammim. And of course it's on 2 lines, so it's harder to read.
Mm-hmm.
And Saul and all the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah and set the battle in array against the Philistines.
And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side, and the Israelites stood on a mountain on the other side. And there was a valley between them.
And how wide was this valley? Can you hear me?
What?
Yeah, really. Obviously, it wasn't too huge, or else they wouldn't have been there.
Although, to be fair, Goliath does have a big stature, so he would have a big booming voice. Maybe they also communicated through flag things and signs.
Well, considering everything, they probably would not have been more than 100 yards away, 100 meters, 100 yards.
That's not a very big valley.
Well, you don't need it to be a big valley when really just the front lines are what meets. So
think about it this way. We're in a valley. You wouldn't think it because it's a small valley and we have small mountains beside us.
True. Well, they're not terribly small, but yeah, this is
smaller than like the mountain in the background.
Yeah,
of our house.
and this from that hill on the left to that hill on the right, and I did that backwards. Not quite 100 yards.
And to be fair, whenever you guys are burning extra wood scraps down there, and I stand on the porch and yell at you guys, you can barely hear me even then.
Yeah, so,
So it's like,
I guess it makes sense.
A bit of a smaller valley, either way. It was a shallow valley.
Yeah,
Reminds me of something from Dorf. You're rolling in the rough now.
Okay, Dorf? Oh yeah.
Comedy group.
No, Tim Conway, character of Tim Conway's. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, which is mentioned in several places, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. So 6 cubits is 6, basically 18-inch lengths, unless it could have been the royal measurement, which was 24 inches. But
9.5 is usually
the accepted height.
Yeah.
So 6 times 1.5 is 9, and then a span is your finger, pinky to thumb, which is 6 inches. So.
And he had an helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass.
Dang. That takes a strong man to be able to walk under.
How many pounds is that?
How many pounds?
I think we looked it up once, and a shekel was an ounce or so. So this is easily a few hundred pounds, or at least 100 or 2. I don't know.
I have a calculator. You can figure it out.
We're fine.
We need the base weight. We don't have
The weight conversion.
5,000 shekels.
Go look it up on your computer. You've got a computer. Search it.
I'm just trying to think. Like, if we presume that 1 shekel is equal to 1 ounce, like, isn't 100 ounces a pound or something?
No, 16 ounces is a pound.
Oh, okay.
So divide
I have no idea what I'm talking
Yeah,
Yeah.
divide 5,000 by 16.
Which I doubt is correct. They're just look up how much a shekel is. You can do that. And he had greaves of brass. Greaves? Oh, yeah. He had.
Knee guards and pants.
It's 0.22 pounds according to Google.
So 0.22.
Times 5,000.
That drops off a 0. So 500. It was 1,000 pounds.
Dang!
1,100 pounds.
Somewhere around there. Give or
Yeah.
take a few.
If it's 0.22 times 5, that's 1.10, and then we have 3 zeros left. No, 2 zeros left.
Which, like, that's some pretty insanely heavy armor.
No. Wait.
It's 5,000, so there would be 3 zeros.
Okay, this is where I need to use a calculator because I'm
Yeah.
not doing the right one.
Okay.
No, I've got it on my phone.
We have calculators on the phone.
Yeah, it is 1,100.
Okay.
So it's like, if you consider how most medieval full suits of armor were like 200 pounds,
Yeah.
somewhere in that range.
He had
That's some ridiculous armor.
That's almost-
He must have like a full metal suit.
That's
pretty
what
much.
it said.
Pretty much. Well, look at the. Wait a sec. Greaves of brass upon his legs and a target of brass between his shoulders. So he had it was to protect his neck. It was a thing across his neck so that nobody could cut him.
One of those things.
Right, and
That
it
makes
looked
sense.
like a target.
That makes sense because most people would be coming from below.
True. But the staff. Read the next chapter.
And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head was weighed 600 shekels of iron, and one bearing a shield went before him.
Okay.
Somebody else was carrying his shield? I
Yeah,
feel so sorry
no,
for that person.
Well, they were a big, strong guy, but he didn't want to be worn out getting into the battle. He picks up his shield when he's ready to fight, and that way he's not carrying everything.
Sure, but if it's only one person carrying the shield,
That's still some ridiculously heavy armor.
Yes.
the cats have noticed the flying stink bug kitties.
1,100 pounds for the coat of mail, which probably went down, passed down to halfway down his thighs.
It landed somewhere on the light, and they're looking
Yeah.
for it.
But the weaver's beam, when you're talking about a loom, when you're talking about a loom, those things hold thousands of pounds of pressure, and the
Stink bug is gone outside.
yep, thank you.
That's one of two.
We have
There's
more.
like probably 20 in here by
yeah,
now.
there's bunches in the house.
This is the time of the year when they come inside.
Yeah, you're dealing with 6x6 or 8x8 that's been rounded. So it's not some little thing. He has. I showed you that picture of dang it, Schwarzenegger and the Princess Bride giant. Andre the Giant.
Showed Danielle.
Okay.
Insert picture here, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it was from a. I don't know if I'll look for it. Schwarzenegger is over 6 feet tall, maybe 6'6". I'll have to look that up too. And Andre was literally. Schwarzenegger came to right here on him. He was 1.5 feet taller. And Schwarzenegger was like, yeah, his hands were like 3 times my size. This was him talking about seeing him wrestle and then having Andre pay for his food. And Schwarzenegger was trying to say, no, I want to pay. And he just picked him up, set him up, and said, nope, you're staying there on this little
countertop.
No, it was top of a dresser or something that he couldn't jump down from easily without hurting himself. But it's just. Oh my heavens. Yeah.
So it's like this was a big dude carrying like basically a truck.
Yeah, really. And the spear, I mean, if it's not enough that this spear itself was easily 1,000 pounds by itself, they had a head on the spear that would cut a person in half just from how big it is.
It's basically a mace at that point.
Guillotine.
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. This is a lot of armor. So this is a big guy, really scary, with the capability of taking that spear and just, slicing through a crowd. Can you say hi to the camera? Good day. All right.
Aw, I want to see that. Yeah.
It's okay. All right.
Number 8 for you.
Yep. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel and said unto them, why are you come out to set your battle in array? Am I not of Philistines, and ye servants of Saul? Choose you a man to fight for you, and let him come down to me.
If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall ye be our servants and serve us.
Are those mean slaves?
Basically.
Yeah.
But you got to know that they're not going to say, oh yeah, you beat him, no problem, we'll just let you go. They're going to fight back.
Yep.
So, either way, but there's the fact that someone can kill Goliath, because this guy is, he's buff. It's like walking up to a tank, almost. So, the Philistine, Goliath, said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together.
Give me a man that we may fight together.
Yep. That was well done in Lycan.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here for a while.
I like the outtake where they bring pizza.
Hello, little wine.
Aww.
Say hi to the camera. Hello.
Lily.
Dang it, I missed it.
And I just sat on. Oh, you picked it up.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thank
I
you.
missed it again, man.
Okay.
When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Understandable.
Can you imagine? Going by the strength of man, I can't compete with that.
Yeah.
I mean, think of Andre in that example. He just walks over to Schwarzenegger, and Schwarzenegger's 200, 300 pounds of pure muscle. There you go. Just stay there for a bit. You can pick up.
He would be able to win in tug of wars from what I've seen, like
shoot.
on both hands and pull them forward with like 3 or 4 people on both sides.
Easy. I mean, just the fact that someone can walk around with 1,100 pounds of metal, he's got some beef.
Lily's found another one.
He got some
That
major.
sounds like one characters.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does.
yeah.
It does sound a little bit like one of Rainer's characters.
Yeah. Rainer being a friend who always plays this,
Tank.
basically in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
He's got this massive,
Beefy dude. Yep.
massive beefy dude that he
Hi, Bug.
bug trying to fly down to us.
Catch that, it's on the ceiling.
It's on the
Just-
wall.
I need you to come here for a minute.
12 for you.
Okay. So let's back up a step. Now, David. Gee, who's this? I haven't heard of him yet. Where does he fit into this story?
Now, David, who we've mentioned before, we can skip this verse.
Just about. Was a son of the Ephrathite.
You can't even say it quickly.
Yes, a Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse, and he had 8 sons, and the man went among men for an old man in the days of Saul. So his dad was getting old and about to die.
And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse and went and followed Saul to battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah. And David was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Saul.
But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. Oh, wait. He was the armor bearer. Why did he go back?
Well...
He's supposed to be there at the battle.
And like in the scriptures, they showed it as since he was the youngest and not a man of... not clearly a man ready for armed battle. Like, he could fight, sure.
He just wasn't the big
Lily,
guy.
get away from that, Lily.
Okay, so why did David go back home?
Since he was the youngest, and like in the scriptures, it shows him talking to his 3 eldest brothers, and they say, "Go home. This is a war for grown-ups. You're not old enough for it." Since he was the youngest in the litter.
Maybe not. There's something to this. Maybe it was because Saul liked him so much that he was like, "I don't want to lose you. Go on back home, and we'll take somebody else expendable." Who knows?
16.
And the Philistines drew near morning and evening, and presented himself 40 days.
Hi, it's me again. Are you ready to listen to me announce it again? Too bad if you're not.
But again, 40 days. This is an important number for.
So what's it gonna be? Crash or smash? Smooth or bruise? Flotor? Watch out!
She's doing virtual safaris from lying DVDs.
Oh.
I'm joking.
Yes, thank you.
And Jesse said unto David his son, Take now for thy brethren an ephah of this parched corn and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to thy brethren. Again, like in the scriptures, he brings pizza.
Yeah.
Or in VeggieTales, actually. VeggieTales also show David bringing pizza.
Well, pizza is bread and cheese.
True.
This
That
is
is
true. That is a good point. It could totally have been a type of mixture for pizza.
Hey, but usually you keep them separate and you don't cook them like pizza.
Touche.
And carry these 10 cheeses unto the captain of their 1,000, and look how thy brethren fare, and take their pledge.
Cheese and bread.
Yeah, I mean it's protein and carbohydrates, so good for you.
Now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah fighting with the Philistines.
And David rose up early in the morning, and left the sheep with a keeper, and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to the fight, and shouted for the battle. One sec. So this was Jesse trying to find out what's going on in the war.
Another thing that always confuses me, were they really just sitting there waiting for something to happen, or were they actually fighting each other?
No, this is how many things were, many
That's
battles.
That's not what I mean.
No. Seriously, this is how many battles were done. They had one person come out and be the champion, and if the champion was beaten, then they would send out the next champion, and back and forth. Sometimes that's how it was, so they didn't have to have everybody come down and fight everybody. Sometimes this was the way that wars were done.
Oh, well, I always thought that the reason I say that is because I was wondering if, because Goliath was saying this statement, every single thing that shows this scenario shows the camp in complete stalling. Everybody's just sitting around waiting for something to happen.
They're waiting for someone to say, I'll be the champion to go up against Goliath. And nobody wanted to, because everybody was relying on the strength of the man, because they were not having good faith in God. And take their pledge. I'm wondering if that has to do with their pledge of health.
Maybe not just that, but it's also could be the vote of, are you willing to go out and fight?
I don't know. This is a father asking for his sons to tell him how they're doing.
For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army.
So they were ready to have both armies come in and clash, but...
They haven't been doing so.
Right.
Oh, this is
Did I read 20?
I did 21. We're at 22.
I thought I didn't... No, I didn't read...
We did 20.
David rose up early in the morning, left the sheep with the keeper?
Yeah, we did that one. We're at 22.
Yeah, you did, Dad.
All right. I was paying attention to something else, I guess. 22?
Mm-hmm.
And David left his baggage, in the hand of the keeper of the carriage. Okay, his baggage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage, and ran into the army and came and saluted his brethren. Hey, guys!
Shh! And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion of the Philistines, Goliath of Gath, and spake according to the same words, and David heard them. Yo, I'm here again. Will you guys please do something? I'm getting bored over here.
And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were sore afraid. Yeah.
Okay, this is Voldemort coming into the entire scenery. Everyone wants to run from him.
Maybe.
What would it be like if various game or movie villains fought against each other? That would be so interesting. I wonder if Death Battle's done that yet.
Voldemort would be the very back and we're just sitting there going, Zap, you're dead. Do that against Superman. What would happen?
Oh, that's actually a good question.
Ooh.
That's also a good question. Goku versus Superman as well.
Who's Goku?
Dragon Ball Z, Super Saiyan, overpowered.
Infamous for being like one of the strongest anime characters ever.
Okay, so you remember how Sonic goes super?
Yeah.
That was a sort of a rip-off of Dragon Ball Z going Super Saiyan.
Okay. And 25?
Yeah. You. Okay, never mind.
Didn't you just... Yeah.
And the man of Israel said, have ye seen this man that has come up? Surely to defy Israel is he to come up. Surely to defy Israel is he come up. And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make him his father's house free in Israel.
Ooh, that's a big deal, because they were paying taxes to the king, and if you are free, you don't have to pay taxes. Mm-hmm. That's wealth right there. Mm-hmm. You stink.
Yes, I know. Excuse me.
And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to this man that killeth this Philistine? What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine? This Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel. For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?
And
So, whoa, hold on. This is David. This is David showing already that he has tremendous faith and belief in God and in the strength of God and not just of man.
And another thing to remember is it's actually quite hard to have faith. I mean, if having a grain of mustard seed allows you to move mountains, how hard is it to have that faith and to keep it long enough to do so?
It's a matter of learning it and growing it.
Mm-hmm. And the people answered him after this manner, saying, so shall it be done to the man that killeth him.
So that they recited, he'll be free, he'll be enriched, he'll have the king's daughter, yada yada. Mm-hmm. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the men. And Eliab's anger was kindled against David, and he said, why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride and the haughtiness of thy heart.
Naughtiness, not haughtiness.
Oh, naughtiness. For thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle. And this feels like projecting, you know?
Yeah, it does. Because David was asked by his father, so he didn't come up of his own will.
Yeah, he didn't care so much either way, because he's taking care of the flocks. Mm-hmm. Why don't you read the next two?
And David said, what have I now done? Is there not a cause? And he turned from him toward another, and spake after the same manner. And the people answered him again after the former manner.
So he wanted to get verification that that's really what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And when the words were heard which David spake, They rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him.
And David said to Saul, "Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine."
And Saul said to David, "Thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth."
And David...
There's a thing about the longbowmen from England, I think it was. Whenever they find a person who was a longbow archer, they had bows that would sometimes take up to 100 pounds of effort to pull them. And they would be pulling these bows from their youth, and they would actually have a stronger structure on their drawstring side, so that when a person is dug up, they can say, "Oh, look at this, his shoulder he must have been an archer." You know, It was so prominent. So that's the kind of thing that we're looking at here with Goliath. He had been trained from a youth to be a really big, strong guy, on top of the fact that he was...
How much do you think he ate?
Wow, that's a good question. Would he eat like most people just to maintain his energy? But would it still be a couple of plates worth? I mean, think of Andre. He would drink most of a gallon of alcohol before he started feeling drunk.
Not only that, but Olympic athletes,
That's true.
They eat so much.
Yeah,
it's honestly kind of
they're
scary
burning
to
so
read
much.
about.
Yeah, because they're burning so much. I remember when I was a kid, I got sick and tired of eating because I had to eat so much.
And David said unto Saul, Thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb of the flock.
And I went after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. Holy Moses!
You know you were on here with that last statement? I can live on bread and cheese and only that? Yeah, so can a rat.
Yep. Well, that's kind of what they did back then.
True.
But, yeah, a lion and a bear. He took the lion and grabbed it by the scruff of the neck, and I dearly hope that he was on its back. But still, both of them, facing up to either one of those is not a mild thing.
Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God. A lion once came to eat my sheep, and a bear. I slew them both.
And this guy will be 6 feet under. Well, if he was 6 feet under, he'd still be 3.5 feet tall.
That's what I've been saying.
Yes, but it fit in this moment perfectly.
Now that I'm older and I actually understand what he's saying with that, it makes
I'm going to
so
put
much
him in the grave, but if he was standing upright, he'd still be,
That'd just be like burying somebody in the sand at the beach, or a little 10 times worse, because the amount of pressure he'd have.
Well.
It's 37.
David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, Go, and the Lord be with thee.
And Saul armed David with his armor, and put on an helmet of brass upon his head. He also armored him with a coat of mail. Here, let's get you into my armor. Boop, boop.
Reminds me from the movie when later when the servant says, "No armor, okay." And
well,
King looks
it's important to note here that Saul says, Go ahead, go fight him. Lord be with you. But by the way, let me make sure you're going to be safe. And he's still not trusting God.
Yeah, he's not. Although I kind of don't blame him, because he's hoping even in the slightest bit that if David did get hit somehow with that spear or anything, because spears have great length. You can easily get poked by one.
Yeah.
So he's hoping that if he does somehow get hit, he could have the armor to protect him. However, he is technically relying a little too much on the man-made side of things and not relying more on God.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for the concern, though.
There's many different parts of this that we can pick apart, and I'm sure that there's been all kinds of people argue this through.
Yeah.
But it just boils down to Saul was so worried about the strength of the man that he wasn't able to look past that and say, if God wants us to win this, we're going to,
Yeah.
And David is sitting there going, if God wants me to win this, we're fine.
I don't need a big rock on my head or my chest.
Right.
I bet that hurt to try it on, though.
Yeah, maybe it was too big for him because Saul was, what, 6'6" or something?
And David was supposed to be the runt of the litter.
Well, yes, but can you imagine the
so
weight
he was,
of his shoulders after that?
he was very easily between 5 and 5'4", because everybody was a foot and a bit shorter than, well, it's most of a foot. Anyhow, around a foot shorter than Saul. So who knows? So David girded his sword upon his armor. So he did still have some level of armor, and he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. Oh. This is when he's putting on. Yeah, he puts on the king's armor, and he's sitting there going, yeah, this isn't working. And he puts on the sword, and he's not able to swing the sword because it's too heavy, and he's got everything in the way. It's like the Jill Bierup wearing too much clothing or showing how Skyrim plates.
Or when those wizards come into our world and put the armor on the poor boy, and he can't even move around because the armor's so heavy.
Whatever, yeah. So Saul, Samuel, David, Samuel. David! That's who I'm talking about!
Bravery!
We're trying to finish this up. We've been doing this for almost an hour, and I'm hungry.
Really?
It's been over 30 minutes. I know it has.
Maybe not. Anyhow, David had not proved the armor. He had not worked himself up to being able to use it along with the sword.
Nor was it adjusted to his body.
Right. And that's the bigger part. It was getting in his way. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off him.
I'm sorry, these are not working for me.
Yeah, really.
And he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand. And he drew near to the Philistine.
Where was this stream? Was it in the middle of the valley, or was it around the camp?
It would have to be a wait around the camp, because if it was in the valley, oh look, somebody's coming to fight you. Oh really?
Yeah.
They're dead now.
Yeah.
I win.
And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him.
And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and ruddy and of a fair countenance.
So he was young and child-looking, and I mean, he could have still been buff, but he was young, small. Maybe he wasn't even over 5 feet. And the Philistine said unto David, Am I a dog? A pitiful, worthless thing, that thou comest at me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. That would be insulting.
Yeah. Do I look like a dog to you? You must be a fool. You should have thought this through, because I'm Goliath of Gath, and you brought a staff. Ha! Don't make me laugh.
Champion of Gath.
I don't...
Yeah, okay, either way.
Doesn't matter. I was going through it quickly.
Yep.
And the Philistine said to David, Come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the field.
Then said David to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts. Talk about faith, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied.
This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcass of the hosts of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel.
Dude, this is kind of like hold my beer, guys. I'm gonna feed you to the birds, and you're gonna get picked on. Oh yeah? Well, I'm gonna feed the entire army there to the birds. So there. Wow.
They're trash talking each other.
Basically.
Brave words.
Yep. This day.
It's 47.
Yeah, 47. I knew that didn't seem right. And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands.
And it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine.
Interesting. So Goliath had been watching this from a seat on the hill or something. And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. You know, that would have taken some doing to hit basically right in this spot where he wouldn't have had...
Much, if any, protection.
Yeah, it could have gone through an eye or whatever, but if it was fast enough, it really can do some major damage.
Yeah, I remember Goliath saying, "You missed."
Yeah.
Meow.
Not to mention that, like, using a sling takes a lot of practice.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So, like, he must have been very well versed in this.
Yeah. David was a tremendous...
If he was watching sheep, if he was a shepherd.
True.
Then he had to have a way to get a wolf or whatever
Yeah.
would attack
From a distance.
from a distance.
And so he was practicing probably all the time
And he probably had lots of time to practice.
to practice,
Yeah, not
yes.
to mention, like, his ammunition is rocks. All he has to do is pick one off on the ground.
Yeah.
So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David.
Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine and took his sword. Was that 2 feet tall, even laying down? And took his sword and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. So
How heavy is that sword?
actually, think of the stuff that I've shown you of those guys in England that do the sword play.
True, it could have been a great sword.
A great sword would have been two-handed, and it would have been 5 to 8 feet long. But really, beyond a certain point, once you get something swinging, it's difficult to deal with, much less, manage wisely. So I guarantee you, even if he was one-handing it, because he was such a big, strong guy, it would not have been more than a great sword. And David could have picked it up and, lifted it over his head and just helped it down.
Yep.
But it would not have been something that he couldn't handle.
Yep.
And
I'm so glad
later
they
in
showed
the
them like it.
later in the scriptures, when he's getting chased by Saul, he gets the sword from one of the priests.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And the men of Israel and of Judah arose and shouted and pursued the Philistines until they come to the valley and to the gates of Ekron. And the wounded of the Philistines fell down by the way to Shaaraim, even unto Gath and unto Ekron.
Until whoever is with you traveling on this could be the tour guide saying, and you want to go, And the children of Israel returned from chasing after the Philistines, and they spoiled their tents.
And David took the head of the
what that means?
Philistine. Yes, they stole and destroyed.
Right. Well, just took everything.
Yes. And David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem, but he put his armor in his tent.
Oh, he took the armor of Goliath.
And just left it in his tent. I mean, that's understandable. That could have taken the whole day.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, anybody want to help me flip him over?
Well, I'm so glad they didn't show this kind of violence and like it. All they did show was you missed.
Yeah. Yep. Of course, that was a kid's show. They're not going to show the gory stuff.
I know, but that's a lot.
And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistine, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host, Abner, whose son is this youth? And you didn't know? And Abner said, As thy soul liveth, O king, I cannot tell. Oh, so they couldn't tell who it was.
And the king said, Inquire thou whose son the stripling is. And as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul with the head of the Philistine in his hand.
And Saul said to him, Whose son art thou, young man? And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse the Bethlehemite. Surely he knew who he was, but maybe this was one of those moments of, dang, you just totally wiped this guy out. Who are you? What's really going on here, Maybe he... That's an interesting one. Why would Saul respond in that way specifically?
Oh, okay.
Anyhow, so that's Goliath. That was quite a story. And how long did we take on that? Yeah, that was 45 minutes.
So almost an hour.
Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to talk about Jonathan, Saul's son, and what David does, and then what Saul starts to have problems with. So we'll get more into all that tomorrow. And wow, this is really an amazing story to go through and understand. So, yep. We'll see you guys tomorrow.